Hi, my sunshines. Welcome back to my channel. This is your girl, Raeofsunshyne here, back with another video. And as you can see, I am feeling a lot better. I don't sound quite as nasally. I'm recovering well. So today we're doing a new voice drama series that I stumbled upon, which most of the time I'm stumbling upon something new. But this seemed like it was going to be very intriguing, and a lot of the characters caught my eye. This one is more new, I believe, and do not get on me, but I'm sometimes have a hard time pronouncing things. But I think it's called either VS or versus ambivalence or ambivalence. I don't know how to say it. Ambivalence. Ambivalence. Anyway, you guys will see when it comes up. I'm sorry if I did not pronounce that correctly. I will learn. But I'm going to watch and react to episode 0 and episode 1 and see if we like it. And if it's something that does intrigue me, I want to start putting this in my rotation. And also, my sunshines, let me know what you think of this series as well. So let's jump into it.
手を伸ばしても簡単には届かないものは力を尽くしても叶わない可能性があるものだからこそ
I forgot to say, I'm sorry, that I believe this is another idol survival type of voice drama. And they're competing as contestants. And I believe there are some groups that are already formed. But this voice drama particularly revolves around exploring like their identity, overcoming different fears and different types of things and challenges that they are going to encounter in testing their mental grit, their, how strong they are, as in, physically going through all this rigorous things that I'm sure that they're going to have to do over this competition to become an idol or whatever the case may be. And, there is probably going to be people that bond together and people that don't, and there's going to be a lot of things that clash because, as you know, with any type of competition, there's going to be people that we're going to support you, and then there's others that are not, and they're going to want to sabotage you. So I'm sure there's going to be a whole trust issue here, but we will see as it progresses how things actually are going to go.
強く来い願うもの振り返ることすら許されないその断崖はきっと僕らの最後の砦光さすその場所に立つのは僕だ
やれへんわけない今は憧れても
絶対行くからな
これは未練じゃない僕だって
みんな踊ろう
譲らねえよ
この身を怪我しても
キラキラしたい
証明するんです
これが俺の望みたとえそれが
必ず立ってみせる
Well, it looks like there's a lot of hopefuls here that really want to make it and prove themselves and to others that they did it. And hey, it's one of those things that it's a make or break. It'll either make you to be a stronger person and you achieve your dreams, or you crash and burn and you have to try it again or try something else. But it looks like there is a lot of contestants trying to get to the top. So we're gonna see. I see some ones that I think that I can definitely see that will become ones that I really like and are gonna root for, but I don't know just yet because I haven't heard from any of them like that, and I don't know the character names, so I'm gonna have to learn everything.
ようこそいらっしゃいました。皆さん、どうぞこちらへ。
So his name is Inamoto. Okay. So he must be in charge of everyone we see here. And he's going to be delegating the things that they have to do, whether singing, dancing, or whatever else is in between that they're going to have to be doing.
私は皆さんの案内役の稲本と申します。
Figures.
以後お見知りおきを。さて、これからあなた方14人には芸能事務所ライゼンプロダクションの所属アイドルを決める最終オーディションを受けていただきます。
まさかここでオーディションを受けるんですか？アイドルの聖地のこの砦のステージで？
Okay, so we have the redhead, which is name Tayo, I believe, and then the other one that was speaking that's in the front is named Subaru. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to make sure I memorize these names because there's I don't know how many up here, but it's a lot. And gosh, I'm trying to think of the idol game that I'm thinking about that some of the characters remind me of. And I just cannot think of it right now. Oh my gosh, and I used to play it. It's like a rhythm game. Oh, I just remembered what it reminds me of. Okay, there's one that's called Ensemble Stars and also Idolish 7, I believe. Yeah, some of the characters are kind of giving me vibes from that. You know, that's just me thinking off the top of my head. Subaru definitely reminds me of yeah, somebody, the redhead from Ensemble Stars. I'm just pointing it out from what I see. They could be totally different, but hey. Anyways, let's get back to the video.
おや、元気がいいですね。
ああ、俺春の太陽、18歳です。ダメ元で全国オーディション受けたんだけど、そしたらこの赤い封筒が届いて、僕も同じ色の封筒を受け取りました。最終オーディションのためにライゼンブリッツアリーナ、通称砦と呼ばれるこのアリーナに来るようにって。
あなたは確か
高谷昴、16歳です。
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, obviously I know they had to be kind of young, but so they have to compete in basically this thing called the fort, which sounds a little bit intimidating if I'm not gonna lie. Because I'm sure it's very rigorous, because just even in general, like when you see like K-pop idols and everything that they have to go through, it's very rigorous, and there's a lot of things that they look for. Not only your singing, dancing, they look for personality, how you're going to fit into the group, and in front of how fans would see you, and having that fanship type of energy. And I'm sure some of the tests is going to really see how much they can endure before they actually make it to the stage. And I know sometimes you could be already ready for certain things, and then when you hit the stage, boom, a lot of people get stage fright and they get overwhelmed by the fact of whether they can perform good or whether something else is going to happen. They kind of second guess themselves, and that kind of puts a strain on and pressure on yourself that you necessarily I don't feel like needs to be there, but it happens. So yeah, and especially since they're young, they're of course are still going through puberty and things like that. So they're going to have a lot of tension built up upon them. And I'm sure it's not going to be easy at all, especially when you have a group this big competing.
あの伝説の練習生ですよね。オーディションが始まった時から気になってたんです。スバルくんのことはアイドル養成所の練習生たちの間で有名だったので。僕はアリス川双葉、17歳です。ピンクの封筒を受け取ってここに来ました。
はいはーい。同じくピンクの封筒を受け取った花のやぐり、14歳だよ。よろしくね。
14歳って若っ。
Wow, that is really young, 14. You imagine, you know, being that young and being a part of a competition. It's like you're giving up like the fun that you would have just being a normal 14-year-old that's just playing sports or playing video games. And just, you know, now you have to be like more restricted and do all these other things to make yourself seem a little bit more mature than you would be. And I'm trying, so depending on the envelopes that they got, obviously they're at different levels of where they are in the training world. And so they have what, pink, red, and blue so far that I'm seeing, far as how they're going to be training and like what level and what group and stuff like that. So I'm guessing some of the younger ones, as young as the one that just said he was 14, would be pink. I'm sure that's for, the ones that are just entered training and haven't been there quite as long comparative to a red card or envelope who's been there a little bit longer, considering I think Tayo is 18, I believe. So yeah, he's probably been through a lot more training than comparative to the other enveloped colored ones. If that makes sense. Did that make sense what I just said? Probably not, but whatever. Yeah. So it's going to be kind of interesting. So I'm guessing envelopes mean you're going to be broken down into that particular group. And the groups, I guess, will compete with either within each other or with the other color enveloped groups. I don't know. I'm trying to piece together everything as I'm hearing it and as we go along, okay?
ああ、一人だけ混じってる女の子、途中のオーディションで見かけたわ。
もうやだな。僕は女の子じゃないよ。正真正銘の男の子。
せやったんか。
Wow. He didn't even, okay, the other guy didn't even ask. He's like, oh, wow, there's a girl mixed in the group with all the rest of the guys. You're just assuming that's a girl because, yeah, he has a more girlier appearance. Blonde and pink hair, and probably because he's young and blah, blah, blah. But he could have at least asked or, asked for pronouns or anything. And he's just assuming. That's a little bit much there, buddy. But I digress. He fixed that and put him in his place. It's like he's a bona fide boy. So there you have it.
か。あんまり可愛らしいからてっきり。俺は青い封筒に呼ばれた成海一世、19歳や。
同じく木下美代、17歳。
おいおい、ちっせえ声だな。自己紹介もっとガツンといけよ、ガツンと。俺は緑の封筒を受け取った竹明仁。
So, okay, we have some that are more quiet, like the one in the blue envelope group. He's a more soft-spoken, quiet, reserved way of talking comparative to a loudmouth in the green group, which, I mean, kind of makes sense. When I think of green, I think bold and loud and just very expressive. And this guy is giving every bit of that. So that was very intentional, putting him in the green group.
太郎、花の18歳だ。そっちの丸メガネも緑の封筒持ってたよな。
葉月紫音、16歳です。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
へえ、君メガネなだけあって真面目だね。こっちは紫の封筒で馳せさんじました藤立咲也、20歳です。気軽に咲也お兄さんって呼んでね。
Big Pro Sakuya. Anyway, okay, so we have a bit of a mix of ones that are a little bit older in their 20s or at 20. I'm sure there's some that's a little older than 20, but still. So you have the older crowd that feels like, they can teach the younger crowd a little something, something. And when I think of purple, because that's my favorite color, I think of a resilient, very seasoned, and they know a little something, something. That's just in my mind. Okay, I'm trying to analyze the envelopes by personality. But I could be completely wrong. But what some of the ones are giving from the color envelope groups is definitely in the right place, in the right group. Now, I don't know how that would clash in between themselves and with others in the group, but hey, anything goes in these type of training boot camps and things.
お前のようなチャラい輩と同じ色の封筒とは嘆かわしい。キスミで年は20歳。年まで同じとは。
20歳って何？
は？
イタチのファミリー？尻尾長くて。あなたも尻尾長い。あみあみ。
おい、私の髪で何を？
こーら、ダメだよ。人の髪を勝手に編んじゃ。ダメ？なんでダメ？君も同じ黄色の封筒だよね。僕は飛龍なごむ、17歳。ああ、クックはクックラム。1と6。16歳なんだね。
What is he even talking about? Okay, yellow is just that in between phase where you want to be more representative. That's not even a word. You want to be more seen and you want to be more, included into everything, but at the same time, you don't know where you are among the spectrum of being in that in-between age. Yeah, but these characters are just, some of them are going to be all over the place. And I see a little bit of shade and I see a little bit of insult being thrown around ever so cleverly. But if this is how it is starting, I can almost guarantee you it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better, far as direction and how they communicate with each other. It's going to be something to see. That's all I can say.
すごい。飛龍なごむって飛龍兄弟の兄ですよ。
飛龍兄弟？
スバルくん同様、練習生の間で有名な実力派の兄弟です。
そうです。優秀な兄のなごむと、その兄を尊敬してやまない弟の飛龍和、15歳です。どうしてもなごむ兄さんと同じグループに入りたくてこのオーディションに。受け取った封筒は白。
すごい。他の人たちも大手養成所の練習生として見たことある人ばっかりですよ。
なあ、So
we have two brothers that are part of this, but they're not in the same group. I mean, which I understand because there's one that's older and one that's younger, but okay, that should be interesting. You have a little bit of a family affair going on in here. I don't know if it's going to work in their favor, whether they continue to support each other, have each other's back, or something else could happen and kind of make them go a little bit separate ways. But I really hope that they stick together and defend each other when need be, even if, they're not in the same group.
練習生って？
練習生っていうのはアイドル養成所に通うアイドルの卵のことです。実力のある子はスバルくんみたいに練習生の間でも有名だったりして。ごめんなさい。アイドルのこととなるとつい。
いいよいいよ、教えてもらえてありがたいし。途中のオーディションじゃ他の子と全然喋る機会なかったからさ。それに俺養成所に通ってないんだよね。
通りで見たことない顔だなって思ってたんです。一般から受かるなんてすごい。そういえばもう一人見たことない人が。
君は？
ユキトラレオン。白い封筒を受け取ってきた。
ユキトラってどこかで？
しかし一時代を築き上げた芸能事務所のオーディションと聞いていたがこの程度か。
どういう意味？
Everyone looked up like, what? Oh, he's here? I was talking about him and boom. Here he comes. He appears. He's like, y'all could just ask me. I'm right here. So we have a guy named Lion that's, I guess he has more seniority, you would say. And, he everybody knows him to be more gosh, what's the word that I'm looking for? More known in the world of entertainment comparative to some of the other ones, I suppose.
だてめえ
そのままの意味だが。
おいレオン、その辺にしときや。
一世。そうか。お前がいたな。
ちょっと、あなたあの偉そうな人と知り合いなの？
ああ、幼馴染や。
そうだな。一世だったら俺専用のバックダンサーにしてやってもいい。
バック。
Oh, and shots are fired. He said, okay, so they're childhood friends, or known each other since their childhood. I wouldn't even say they're friends because that shade was not. So Lion is a bit cocky, as we can see, and he basically said that this dude can be his backup dancer. Not even beside him to, you know, as a group type of thing. He said in the background, in the back, dancing. Because basically he's not worth being up in the front, sharing the same spotlight with him. Oh boy. See what I'm telling you? This is the things that they're going to have to encounter and go through, because there is going to be a lot more of this where they clash and where people feel like they're better than others and feel like some people do not need to be in the spotlight compared to them because, you know, they feel like they're already good. They're the best. And other ones are below them. But I'm sure things will change. Sometimes people have to fall down from the little pedestal in order to see that everything is not the way that you envisioned or the way that you think it's going to go. Quite clearly, I'm going to see that happening and progressing quite that way.
ダンサーって相変わらず手厳しいな。
ずいぶん自信があるんですね。
お前確かさっきそこのお宅に天才練習生とか呼ばれてたな。天才は一人だけじゃありません。ここにいるナゴム兄さんもれっきとした天才の一人。
カズ、何言ってるの？
所詮アイドルごときの練習生だろ。
ずいぶんみ。
Hold on, just because he's a trainee doesn't mean anything. A trainee can still be great in many different aspects. You know, sometimes people train for a long time even though they have already gathered all the skill sets that they need because of whatever type of reason. But it does not mean that they're not good, you know? So for him saying, oh, when he's still a trainee, I mean, technically, aren't you still a trainee too? So does it even matter? No, I don't think it does.
下してくれんじゃん。お前もアイドルを目指してこのオーディションを受けたんじゃないのか？
俺にとってアイドルになることは踏み台でしかない。
踏み台？
思い出した。ユキトラって海外で有名なタレントエージェント会社のスノータイガーエージェンシー？
それはレオンの父親の会社や。
俺はアイドルごときにとど。
And another point that's going to be made. Just like, I hate comparing things, but just like with regular K-pop idols, there's usually, most of the time, there's an idol that has a wealthy family that can pretty much guarantee them a spot. Because for some people, money goes a long ways. And, you know, they may not be the best performer or have the best skills and things, but hey, sometimes money will buy you that spot. I mean, I don't think it should. It should be based off talent and your ability versus what you were born into or what your family has, because your family shouldn't have anything to do with it, really. It should be solely about you.
止まるつもりはない。俺の目指す先は世界。何がおかしい？
ごめん、別に君のこと笑ったわけじゃ。
Or was he?
ごめんごめん。違うんだって。なんか実感湧いてきて。俺、本当に最終オーディションに残ったんだなって。こんなすっごい人たちと戦えるんだなって。そしたらなんだかすっごくワクワクしてきて。
ワクワク？
最終オーディション前に？
それって結構
変わってる。
ごめん。
よく言われる。
お前、確か春の太陽だったな。
うん、そう。
へえ。レオンが名前覚えるなんて珍しいな。
俺以外で練習生じゃない奴がいるとは思わなかったからな。
それってあの子が気になるってこと？もしかして早速ライバル認定とか？
ライバル？笑わせるな。こんな素人が俺の
ライバルにはなりません。
あ
なた方はライバルを自由に選ぶことができませんから。
He just told y'all, oh no, y'all are not picking the rivals because we're going to do that. So don't even think about getting your hopes up or thinking that you're going to go against somebody that you think you're just automatically going to be able to beat. Nah, it doesn't work like that.
どういうことだ？
説明が遅くなって申し訳ありません。皆さんのやりとりが白熱していたので口を挟む暇がなく。
ライバルを自由に選べないってどういうことですか？一体どういう意味で？
あなた方のライバルはすでに決まっています。
ライバルが決まっている？
皆さんが受け取った封筒、それが同じ色の者同士が最終オーディションで競い合う相手なのです。
Okay, so yeah, I kind of figured as much. I said earlier, I believe that either the ones that are in a certain group were going to be competing against each other, or competing against others that had a different envelope. So yeah, I was pretty much right? Okay. Anyways, so yeah, so I guess it's not good to get chummy with the people in the same group as you, because you obviously have to compete with them. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna have to live with each other and everything too, so that's gonna make things even more difficult. I mean, even though they will kind of get to basically scope out their competition because they're gonna be around them a lot, but at the same time, that's gonna create a lot of tension and a lot of banter and whatnot, because essentially they're like, okay, I can kind of pick out what this guy is good at and what he's not good at. And I can kind of focus on this, that, and the other. But then what about the people that have different color envelopes for them? I'm sure it's going to come to a point where they're going to have to compete against them as well.
が同じ色のものだと？それでは私のライバルはこのチャラ男だということか？ねえ、チャラ男ってひどくない？
俺のライバルはこの丸メガネか。
僕はこの将来性ありありな超絶可愛い最年少ルーキーと競い合うってことですか？
褒めてくれてありがとう。可愛いって言われるのは嬉しいけど、かっこいいの方がもっと嬉しいな。
クック、ナゴム、ライバル？そうみたいだね。
よろしゅう、ムクチ君。
じゃあ俺のライバルはこの天才練習生ってこと？
I mean, at least it's only, okay, I didn't really pay attention to how many people were in the color groups. So I guess it's just 2 people of the same color. So yes, that's what I guess what they mean by versus. In the name title, they're going versus against the other person in that color group, which I get now. Okay, that makes more sense to me. Whew. This is gonna get intense really fast because, like, what is gonna happen and how long do they have to compete against a person from that same color group? So after that person wins, does the other person take over just that color and then they have to compete with someone of a different color? I don't know, but I'm sure we'll find out.
俺の相手はあのブラコンのガキ？ブラコンって まあ本当のことか。
そう。そして競い合い、選ばれた7人がアイドルグループとしてライゼンプロダクションからデビューできるのです。
その最終オーディションをこの砦のステージで。
いいえ。
なんだ。
Of course, it was not going to be that easy. He's like, no, actually, that's not how it's going to work. Because we got something else up our sleeves that y'all don't know about yet, but you're about to find out. So essentially, everybody that wins against the other person is going to be, those 7 are going to be put into a group. And I guess the other 7 are just going to have to be either still under training or they just get booted out. I mean, essentially, they could make 2 groups, right?
ステージが下がって。
地下に。ここは。
見て。
ステージにつながる天井の穴が
完全に閉じた。
どういうことだ。ここは一体。
ここはライゼンプロダクションがアイドル育成のために技術の粋を集めて作ったインターナートです。
I don't know why, but that already sounds kind of scary and very intimidating because new technology to cultivate new idols, new age idols, basically. It sounds like basically they're being put underground with no way to really kind of get out of this unless, you know, they get booted out. And that already shows me that it's going to be very tedious and very rigorous. Because, like, why else would you make a facility way down underground if it wasn't something that was on the up and up and it was going to be something just regular, simple, where you have to do, I don't know, competition on these days, blah, 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 you do this and do that. No, nah. This is completely going to be something to the extreme.
宿女ってことですか。
皆さんにはここで与えられた課題を乗り越えながら SNS の発信を通してアイドル候補生として活動してもらいます。そして同じ担当カラー同士のどちらが7人のデビューメンバーに残れるのかグランツ投票で競い合うのです。
グランツ？
アイドル候補生として活動する君たちのファンの総称です。
それってお客さんの投票がデビューメンバーを決めるってこと？
はい。ちなみにオーディション期間は約1年。
See, I knew it was a trap. I just knew it. Not only do they have to try to get you know, a good fan base from the audience so that they don't get booted, they have to do this for a whole year. Oh my. How satisfying does that sound? And it sounds like everyone is so happy and so pleased to be a part of this now. It's just overflowing. No, not really. This is going to be really a survival of the fittest. Because why on earth they have to make sure that they have such a great social media presence where the fans are like, oh my gosh, I really love this idol, blah, 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 blah. You know, they really have to make a good impression to make sure that they stay there and that they get a part of this group. You know, that's already going to be a lot. And then doing other tasks and whatnot. And then nothing is essentially up to them, which, I mean, when you're trying to become an idol, none of it's really up to you, but still. It's like being locked away in a prison for a year and come of it, whatever it may. You could either have just wasted a whole year or this year is going to benefit you. It's one of the two.
その間はこのインターナート内のみで過ごしていただきます。
1年もこんなところで過ごせっての？
ご心配なく。インターナートには衣食住はもちろん。
Okay, and usually, see, there's so many red flags here. Oh, don't worry. You're going to have everything you need. Everything is going to be provided for you. So essentially, no. you're not gonna be able to have freedom. You're going to be locked there. Yes. Yes. So don't worry. Like having no concept of the outside world for a year. It's basically prison. Because like some people are going to go crazy being in there for a whole year, not being able to just be like, yeah, you know what, I need to get some fresh air. Kind of want to go to, like, I don't know, go eat something out, go hang out at the mall, you know, just something other than just seeing everyone's face for a whole year. Yeah. I don't even know what to say.
ジム、ダンスルーム、音響スタジオなどアイドル活動をするために必要な全てが揃っています。
See, that's all you need. Everything you need is right there. Except things to relax your mind and to give you complete entertainment. They're giving you the essentials, but taking away the things that you would most like to enjoy.
けれど、ここにないものが一つだけ。
A life?
ステージです。アイドルがファンと交流するためのライブステージがここにはありません。オーディションに勝ち、デビューの決まったものだけが地上のアイドルの聖地、砦のステージに立つことが許される。それがライゼンプロダクションの所属アイドルオーディション VS アンビバレンツなのです。
バーサスアンビバレンツ。
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Whew. This is going to be a lot on them, as I would have expected. It is going to be quite challenging and quite rigorous, to say the least. Yeah, it's like almost being in like Big Brother or one of those competitions shows where you're just supposed to be in the house for a certain amount of time, and you know, somebody votes you out if you're not doing something good and you are not up to par, you get the boot. But them not seeing the stage for a whole year, and basically your stage essentially right now is just the audience, and to see if they find you appealing enough to make you a full-fledged idol. I don't know. Hearing all that, I would have been like, okay, you know what? This is not for me. I'm just gonna dip. Because that's like, who would not go crazy for a whole year of not being able to just decompress yourself without having to be around a whole bunch of people and being able to just be yourself? I mean, yes, they can be themselves while they're there, but it's also going to be a lot of pressure because there's always going to be someone breathing down your neck, and you're forced to be good at so many different things, and just putting all of that together to just become an idol. That's a lot. I've already heard about some of the horror stories of like regular people that want to become idols, and then people that did go through the trainee program to where they are now is just, that's a lot. So even just hearing this is a lot. But it's intriguing, to say the least, and I know that we are going to see a lot of personality, a lot of personal growth, but a lot of breakdowns and a lot of questioning in themselves throughout this voice drama. And I think that is going to be interesting. I think that we can learn a lot from this series, especially me, because, you know, I just like seeing, you know, how a person's mentality is broken down or built up over a certain period of time. So if you guys like my reaction to this, because I was going to do the next episode, but I think we should wait, because you know, I feel like it's best for me to wait. I kind of want to, you know, see how this goes. But Sunshines, let me know if this is a voice series that you would like to for me to continue to react to. Ugh, Sorry. Y'all know I can't talk half the time. But anyways. And if this is something you enjoyed, please make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And if you have seen some of this voice drama series before, let me know as well, and how you feel about it. Yes. I'm also going to be going back to Fragment Memory as well. And I do have some other things in the works. I keep saying that, but I really do. It's just, you know, implementing it all is, you know, another thing. But don't worry. Good things are coming. But my sunshines, I hope you like my video. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn your post notifications on when you know when I post another video. And I hope my sunshines continue to remain positive, spread love and light to the world, as we always, always, always need more of it. I love y'all, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Shine on me.